What's happening, y'all? Hope y'all are having a good day out there. Today in this video, I just want to talk about the interior quality of this RAV4 in comparison to a third-gen Tundra. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you're interested in my owner experience with my third-gen Tundra. But for this video, I do want to address some things. I've been getting a lot of comments, especially from Toyota fanboys and gals, that, why did you buy this? Why'd you buy your third-gen Tundra if you thought it was poor quality, you didn't like the interior? It sounds like you have a lot of complaints with it. Well, I bought the vehicle because it really does do all the truck things well. It drives well, and it really is a great truck. It's just that when you start to live with the vehicle, you start to put thousands of miles on the vehicle, you live with it more, you start to see where a manufacturer cut corners. You start to see where maybe the material choices aren't the best, and you start to see where the shortcomings are in terms of coming from a design perspective. And the third-gen Tundra, for all the things that it does well, it just doesn't feel like it was really well thought out by the design team. And I'll point out some of those examples. So in this RAV4, which is $34,000 as you see it, it's half the price of a third-gen Tundra. Here you have way more solid window frame construction. There's no weird, cheap, seal here that I can peel back with my finger. There's no play in this window. It's just nice and sturdy. You can feel that there's absolutely no play. It's just a well more thought out design here. And then here in the door card, yeah, you do have these scratchy plastics here, which is whatever. But this door handle is just nice and sturdy. It's beefy, and it's one assembly here with the window controls. So in the Tundra, you have two pieces. It's the top bezel part, and then where it actually sets on the controllers. And what's interesting about that is, obviously you guys know that in my Tundra, those were rattling and had to be fixed. Here, there's no way that can happen because it's one assembly and just one really well thought out and designed piece. This handle, for I'm pulling hard on it, you can't hear any squeaks or rattles. And it just brings into question what Mike Sweers and the third-gen Tundra team were thinking when they were designing the third-gen Tundra. It really seemed like they didn't think about how people that own trucks use their vehicles. It almost feels like they were just putting things together rapidly and quickly. It doesn't seem well thought out. Similarly, these lights on this RAV4 are super big and bright, and again, it makes you feel like the team that designed this vehicle really considered how their consumer is going to use this small utility vehicle. If you're an active lifestyle family or an active lifestyle guy or gal, if you're going camping or you're taking your bike out and it gets dark and you're in and out of the vehicle, you want some nice big lights to be able to see inside the interior. And in this RAV4, they go ahead and provide that. In the Tundra, it's just not the same story. You have these dinky little lights that really don't illuminate anything, and again, it just doesn't feel like the Toyota took into consideration how a Tundra user would benefit from better illumination in the cabin. Going over to material choices, this vehicle is half the price of a comparably equipped Tundra. So if you're looking like at an SR5, and there's soft touch points here, there's soft touch points down here. It's just in terms of material choices, there's soft touch here. It just seems like you get a better value for what you're paying for in the RAV than what you do with the Tundra. And yes, you might be saying, well, if you wanted soft touch materials up in the dash and in different areas of the vehicle, you could have stepped up to a limited and capstone. And why I find issue with that is I don't feel like when you're paying $60,000 and more, you should get toy level plastics all over the vehicle. I feel like it should be solid and well sorted, and not feel like it's going to fall apart after a few years. And that's exactly how the third-gen Tundra feels inside, at least for the SR5 trim. Additionally, this shifter area. So, and this is symptomatic of all third-gen Tundras, but if you use the shifter or you get inside and test drive one, I encourage you to just kind of wiggle it around, but it makes noise and it rattles and it wiggles. This here just feels like a just really solid shifter. It feels like it's made of higher quality. The faux leather up here actually feels quality. It doesn't feel cheap. And it just feels more ergonomically designed and better suited for an everyday driving experience, where I feel like the Tundra design team didn't really consider that. You know, they didn't really consider a lot of these little details that I'm outlining, and it's frustrating and disappointing as an owner that's paying twice as much for a vehicle and you're not getting, you know, what you would expect. And why that's an issue is these materials, like this faux leather center console, you know, it is plastic, but it just feels more solid. It doesn't rattle or shake when I put pressure on it. When I put my arm down, it doesn't shake. And then the padding on here is just superior to what's in the Tundra. And again, why am I pointing this out? Is because I want to point out how that vehicle, the 3rd gen Tundra, it just lacked some forethought, and it lacked just really a hands-on approach from the design team, it seems like, from the interior material choices. As I've had this vehicle now going on 7 days waiting for my Tundra to be fixed, it really just started to, you know, become more apparent as I used this vehicle that it just felt better thought out. And again, I'm not trying to crap on Toyota or the 3rd gen Tundra. I'm just trying to give y'all an honest perspective of a, you know, real life hands-on user experience now on 2 different Toyota products. You know, this steering wheel is plastic and cheap, and you know, this by no means is a luxury vehicle, but again, it just feels better thought out. The materials in some areas feel a little bit better. And yeah, guys, my job and not my job, but my intention with my channel is to provide y'all honest feedback on my owner experience, whether it's with my Tundra or in this case, you know, I've had this for a week. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I want to be transparent with y'all so that you as the consumer can make an informed decision about what you want to purchase and understand where some of the shortcomings on these vehicles are. They are not cheap. The prices on these vehicles keep going up. And I think if you're armed with just more information about the material choices, how things are designed, I think that it can arm you as the consumer when you're negotiating the price on a vehicle. You can point some of these things out to the salesman or sales lady. But anyway, guys, I am picking up my truck today. I'm excited to see how it runs after fixing the rear differential. But as always, thank y'all for tuning in. Subscribe if you are interested in 3rd gen Tundra content. Please like the video if you liked it, and we'll see you all in the next one.